think of jewelry and think that you're just in it for the money, but this you can tell is a little bit different.
Definitely. I use precious and semi-precious gemstones crystals with every piece, so it'll help you embody some of that energy of the crystal, in living your daily life while you're looking good too.
So, I'm guessing just because I know you personally, but you probably studied a lot about these stones and the purpose of each stone there for a reason, right?
Definitely. When I went through my healing process, I had a life-changing near-death experience. And when I was done with, when I was going through my recovery process, crystals were a big part of that.
Yeah.
And I have a couple favorites that I work with that I know more of the energetic properties about. So as in life, it's all a learning and growing process. So I familiarize myself with the energies of each crystal every day.
Yeah. You still learning every day about it.
Absolutely.
What was the crystals that kind of helped you with your healing when you were recovering?
I would definitely say amethyst was one of them. Amethyst helped out a lot. I had to ground myself also, so like onyx, black tourmaline. A lot of us are subjected to a lot of negative energies, and they affect us, and we don't
Everywhere,
know.
media,
Constantly.
commercials sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what our TVs just. I mean, they truly project into our house and what that energy is.
Yeah.
And we don't know. And we're coming to a time of year that you should probably pay attention to that, right?
Yeah.
Being around Halloween and the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, definitely. So like with that said, and all these projections coming from the TV, commercials, radio, one of my favorite crystals was onyx because it helps ground you, it helps protect you from
Okay,
negativity, and helps kind of deflect some of that negativity. Gives you a little extra armor.
that's what's up. And I mean, we could all use a little extra armor. I mean, the world today, like we when we first talked about doing this particular thing, me and you, I think we both figured we were going to be arguing over politics because we do kind of stand on opposite sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
But it is cool that even something as simple as these necklaces has changed the format of what we're doing. I kind of want to know more about these crystals and what type of properties I should be looking for and when. Like, is there a good time you feel it or
So, like as far as like creating, when I make the jewelry, it's usually like downloads. Me and Mary Jane will hang out, and I'll be very intentional about smoking and say, hey, I want this is the purpose of this is to make
like
something beautiful. And
hyper focused on it?
yeah, and so like I like to work with tiger's eye. There's some crystals I like to work with as far as like, hey, I really need some protection. I really need some intuition. I need some clarity today.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, you put it on and then you feel totally different. It's a pattern of consistency, so the crystals can actually work in your auric field, and help you amplify your vibration.
Would you say while doing that, it probably should stay away from alcohol and stuff like that? Would that uh, affect it negatively or?
I think the most negative effect that I have is you do something crazy and you break it,
Yeah.
because the crystals are going to do what they do naturally, whether you're in tune or you're not. They're going to do what they
Okay.
do.
Okay. That's good to know because some of us just try and take drugs because we want that feeling,
Yeah,
and a lot of times the addiction comes from chasing that feeling, and then you get hooked,
yeah,
and then you're in there, and that's why it, a lot of people don't understand how something like this could actually help them heal that way as well, right?
yeah.
With any type of addiction.
And you know, that's what I'm here for. You know, not just the artisan of all the jewelry, you know, but it's also to inform, you know, and advise. Hey, this is what it's about. I didn't name it high fashion healing, you know, just because it sounds cool, even though it is catchy.
It is
You
catchy,
know,
yeah.
it's definitely catchy, but you know, I needed healing. I think we all do, and you know how we were talking about, you know, initially our interview, you know, this kind of duality that we sit on as far as like opposite, you know, views. You know, I think that it all coincides with each other.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
we need it all, honestly.
Yep.
Honestly, because otherwise there would be no balance. And what we got to do is we have to find that balance. And the
Yes.
people that are in charge of our government right now are too fucking stubborn to just find that balance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what it used to be, right?
Yep.
It's just not that anymore.
You know, I feel like you know the people.
And here we go,
Oh,
talking politics.
we're going to get into it. Well, hey, you know these people.
No, yeah, we got it. Okay,
they're
let's.
addicted to power. You know, they have greed, and it's not. I feel, in my personal opinion, you know, we look at this money piece and we look at some of these things that we try to relate to these individuals that we call our leaders, and they can't relate to us, you know, and they put this show with the stage show in front of us to pit each other against each other,
Right.
you know, and to
And how could they possibly relate to us? You know, if you think about it, how could they possibly relate to us?
they can't. I feel like it's more about data, and that's why they build data centers to collectively, you know, gather our information, and they use these algorithms, and you know, they gave us AI while they're using quantum computers to figure how are they going to socially engineer us against each other and keep this fight going, you know, to keep this constant bickering.
So, what else would you say would kind of help get away from this? I mean, do you find a way to, because I know you feel strongly about it, how do you kind of shut that off and live in the real world?
Man, you know, really, Scotty, man, I find it hard sometimes because I feel like this political fight got more spiritual, and when I do like try to escape or get away from all the madness, you know, I do meditate and I just kind of isolate myself a little bit to, so I'm not influenced by others'
Right.
fields and their projections.
Exactly what I do.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. And that's what I hear. And I can't remember where I heard it from, but soon as I heard it, I was like, man, that's genius.
yeah,
You know, that way you can just, you know, for a good hour at least, I would say. It could be different for you, you know, and it could be different for anybody else, you know, because we're all different beings. So,
Well,
but
one
yeah,
thing,
that,
one thing that helped me, and you know, I turned off my Facebook notifications. So whenever I decided I want to tap in or I want to, and I'm hopping on there, it's not because I got a notification. And fortunately and unfortunately, you know, social media offers a gateway of, you know, freedom to be able to advertise and market however you want, but it can be draining in a lot of ways, because we feel the energy. It's not just what's said, you know, and at least I do. In my personal experience, I do feel energy, and I know when my energy is being drained from me.
yeah,
So, you know, getting off of there is a huge tool for me.
I've definitely felt that before. Just kind of, and it's not. I guess it's kind of hard to explain that drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But our goal today is to show you how to get away from that, right?
Yeah.
So, shutting off notifications a good way. That way, like you said, you can just you have control over it.
yep.
And I could see where that would help you be more grounded. What would you say about things that you have no control
Man, you know, so I'm
over?
glad you asked that question.
You
I,
know.
we don't have any control over what these strangers in office do. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any control. We can state our opinion. You know, we can grasp onto the illusion of control, you know, as much as we want to. But really, all you can do is look at what your circle of influence is, you know, in your circle of just, hey, observation. and this is what it is. And the best thing that all of us can do, and what I said this from the beginning, is make sure that your energy is right. You can't change anything out there in the world until you change what's going on with you.
Within you, yeah.
And you know, personally, I've noticed when I've reached different levels of consciousness in my life that the situations around me kind of adjusted to it in the world, even reacting to my thoughts. I'm not sure if this is something that you've experienced, but it's only something that you can, you know, individually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hear you. I don't think I felt that ever in my life. But it's cool because I know some people do have that, you know, that ability. You know, because first off, not everybody's going to pick up a stone and want to know about it. You know, it's a rock.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, we live in a world full of distractions, right? And it'll be hard for you to tap into the energy of a crystal when you hear, you know, about Steph Curry and his wife getting divorced or something crazy, or just something going on. Oh, there was a fight after the Chief Lions game, or just some silly, you know, celebrity shit that doesn't have anything to do with our life or evolution.
It's kind of amazing that we always get the negative.
Yeah.
The negative news.
Yeah.
There's positive shit going on around.
But positivity ain't cool. No. I mean, this, you know, in news wise, you know, if we stay in a cycle of fear or scarcity or, you know, lack, then it's going to shift how we even view normal interactions that we have. If you got somebody who's thriving in life as opposed to somebody who's thriving in life, certain interactions are just going to bypass them. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, certain things, you know, you're going to be more receptive to depending on where you are. So when we stay constantly distracted or in a fear mode or thinking that, you know, destruction is coming to us, you know, that's going to limit what we even look at or opportunities, you know, that we could foresee.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the way I could see that is I feel like our phones, when we're on these certain apps, are listening to us. So if you're thinking about it, you might be talking about it. Now your phone knows you. That's how it's going to grab your attention. So therefore, it sends you that notification that Dream does not pay attention to ever. It sends you that notification. But and then yeah, we got Jay Bird showing up in the house.
Bird, what up, Jay Bird?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. On that hot mic.
Hot
mic.
But yeah, he can do that.
Jay Bird. What's your ideas and how do you disconnect from such a distracted world?
Oh, music. Music ain't riding my bike. Like, it seems simple, like people just throw on music, but like when you're on a bicycle, or just walking compared to like a car, you have the elements hitting your face, you got the sun hitting your face, the cold, the rain, the snow, so your surroundings help you drench yourself into the music and drench yourself into trying to escape whatever you're trying to get away from at the moment. Like if you have an argument with your baby mama, your dad, your mom, your pops, whatever it is, the elements sort of take you away from that because you can't just ride and be like, oh, I'm so mad at my girl right now. You're gonna listen to your music on your JBL and you're gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, you know, I like
just keep it moving. I like that.
That's what life is about. It's not stagnant. You know what I'm saying? We stay stagnant. It's like stagnant water. It gains amoebas and bacteria and all these kind of different things. But water needs to flow, just like blood needs to flow when it's going through the body. So and then you said the elements. We are the elements. You know, every single element is in us, and we are it. You know, just like Mother Earth. So naturally, when you're moving and you got your blood flowing, that's God's creation. That's evolution.
It sparks things up. It's just like with stagnant water. It's just stagnant water until you get it moving. Like you said, it becomes living water. It takes about 5 minutes, but that's the stuff that you take and you insert inside yourself. So it's like when I'm like before I left the house today, the first thing I told myself is, I'm moving forward today. With whatever happens today, I'm like, I'm moving forward. I just told myself I'm moving forward. I don't care what it is today. I'm moving forward. I'm gonna do something different.
I love it. Can we expand on that a little bit more? Because I really like that. When you first wake up in the morning, a lot of people, they get on their phones or they'll eat some bullshit or something like that.
Yeah.
Be nice to yourself. Self-love is waking up in the morning, drinking some water, setting an intention for the day. Not just living, not being on autopilot and just going with the flow. you be intentional about what you want to do with your life. As soon as you wake up, you
It
set
could
the
be
tone.
something small.
Something small.
Yeah.
But starting off with something small is better than starting off with nothing.
Right. You
It's snowball effect.
Something's
Exactly.
better than nothing.
Yep, something's better than nothing.
And like you said, it does set the day. Like when I said I'm moving forward, first thing I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get on my bike, I'm a JBL, I got a few stops, I gotta go hit these businesses that I used to work with. Halfway get in here, the universe is like, yo, check it out. You forgot to charge your bike battery last night. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, sidetracked. You know what? I'm going to turn my music up a little bit more. I'm going to go to the shop real quick, charge up. I'm going to go see some faces I like to see to keep my day going. I'm not going to let it get me down.
It was good for you. It was good for you. See, even something that's negative, like your bike wasn't charged, could be, and it most of the time it is positive, but your mind automatically sometimes can think negative. Like, oh no, I got it. But actually, it's positive, man. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Jay Bird. What kind of music? How? Because you said music,
I'm
right?
eclectic. I love all genres of music. Every single. I have even in, like let's say music like country music. I could not stand when I was a kid. Hated it, but I went to the local Cowboys bar and it's hip hop and country, and when you dance with some little white girl or something like that, it's like, I love that new Kenny Chesney. You're like, Kenny Chesney, I like him. So I go do my homework and I figure out certain artist songs. So when it comes on and I'm dancing, I could be like, ba-dunk-a-dunk.
You was motivated by that beat.
You start singing. Sorry, I can start relating, but music relates with life, and life is emulates music. So it's that's why I love music. Like no matter where you go.
No.
Oh, okay. You said something about music. I think that music was one of the biggest influences on our culture, whether that be positive or negative. I think it's been more negative.
I feel that when I play the music.
And I mean, I lived, I've been in some situations where I had to deal with the law. I had to get locked down. And I know I was programming myself to the wrong things. And we blindly program ourselves just to something because it sounds good. That's not healthy. We can live different lives, and we start understanding and understanding and overstanding the power of the frequencies of music that we listen to.
Yeah, that's why people get shot in clubs, because of the frequency of the music. And sometimes it's not even the artist. The artist is being told by the label that they want this type of music so niggas can go out and get a fight with other niggas, so they keep listening to that music. Oh, and fun fact, when they do this,
what that does is it slows you down. Individually, it slows you down.
Yep.
And then
Correct.
on top of that, they now have control over you because you probably caught a case.
yeah.
Yep.
And you
Even
probably
that
have probation
and-
or parole,
But
or
now-
you're behind bars.
Check this out now. Also, inside of the United States of America, there are 21 owned prisons. And now with these 21-year-old owned prisons, you know who owns these prisons? Executive labels own these prisons,
Where I was gonna go.
and judges' wives own these prisons. So they make sure that you pump the violent music into the society, so those jails stay filled, because it is a business.
And they won't release your music when you're on a contract if you're not talking about what they're talking about. And now I want to move to the political side, because they're all correlated. And something I said to you that we would say for the show was talking about the United States of Israel that we live in.
United States of Israel, you heard them right.
Now, when you look at these record owners and what type of backgrounds they have and what type of dual citizenship that they carry, these are Americans and they're all Jewish. They couldn't wipe out a lot of the black community how they used to by hanging us and outright just racism. So they pump out this music into our communities, into our conscious minds, so we could destroy ourselves unconsciously, not knowing this influence. Plenty of artists have come out and said, I couldn't release this album.
And I know that kind of it might sound crazy, but the president was literally caught on a hot mic talking about controlling American minds through the media.
Yeah.
So
That's every president too.
Yeah.
That's
Every president, and this is one thing, because I was kind of, hardcore, not hardcore for Trump, but I thought Trump was a breath of fresh air to me. And in light of really observing more things, they all play the same game.
same
Right.
fucking game.
And the thing is, the only thing that Democrats and Republicans agree on is our relationship with Israel. Now, when we're all here distracted and we're all here looking at all these other things and we're arguing with each other, it keeps us from arguing and looking at the real problem. And I think with in light of more recent events, even the Charlie Kirk death and the Epstein files not being released, that these motherfuckers
Release the files.
Release the files. But they are playing with us right now. They are showing that they have control, and they're not going to release that control over us. And they're going to keep us fighting about it with each other. They're going to keep on creating situations that are going to keep us energetically empowered to go against the other and think that we are somehow virtue soldiers for standing up for this cause, and we're really just fighting against people that we can actually relate to.
Or you just go straight down the line Republican because you're Republican. Like literally, the state that that I was born in, Kansas, is the longest running Republican state. Like already, you know what I mean? So that to me is crazy, but I understand how that happens because I grew up with conservative Republican parents, and when I seen them vote and how they voted, you know, obviously when I learned how to vote, I was like, okay, well, how does this work? And you can look at the records. You can look at the records. I voted when I was 18, and I didn't vote again until the end of Trump's first term. So I was like, there's no way I'm letting this motherfucker get back in the house and try and turn everything gold while soldiers are not getting paid, while federal workers are on furloughs. There's no fucking way I would have voted for that. And I know you're kind of, and yeah, it's all the same game because the Democrats are part of it too. You know, they're nobody has clean hands. None of y'all have clean hands.
None of them do. You know, and so we're looking at this government shutdown, right? And this is one thing that I was like, okay, this is a stamp on it. They're saying fuck you to the American people because they could have it open. They could have our government open. Now, and this is one thing I will give, you know, credit his due, Trump his due credits. He did
Definitely.
He did say, hey, we're going to take care of the soldiers. We're going to make sure some of these moms
Went
are going to
to
be good.
what, IRS?
Yeah.
He also said he's going to cut executive positions if they don't get their asses into the rooms again.
Yeah, and it's a lot of bureaucracy in the government. It's a lot of smoke screen that we don't see. And a lot of those extra jobs that were just being created, from my opinion and what I see, they're being eliminated. I don't like the way that Trump is going about the whole ICE thing. I feel like it was necessary to go hard initially to get those bad guys out of here.
Yeah,
but then it's also like, okay, bro, you done enough. They get the message. They get it now. That if you're illegal, you don't bring your ass over here.
And you can tell by the numbers of border crossing since he's become president. I mean, it's been like
it's 99% reduction in border crossing.
That's crazy.
It's hard though when they go after that, and I've heard a few stories where they go after a teacher who's been teaching 26 years, doesn't have their visa, and they get sent in one day. That's hard to bite. But when I'm talking about you ain't got some dude living off the government, ain't got no job.
First off, they can't live off the government if they're illegal. That is
actually
they can. It's certain sanctuary states that have laws that have a specific budget.
That's
state food stamps.
That's state money.
Oh yeah, you get
that's state money.
But it comes from the federal government.
Yeah,
it comes from the feds. But it's a state program, but the money is funded by the federal government. Yeah. So they can still get it, but it's not in every single state. You know, it's only certain sanctuary states.
It's still collecting like 2 G's, 3
free
G's,
medical
free medical, free everything. I'm sitting here working 2, 3 jobs, like I can't pay rent.
Yeah,
you know?
and you know, I don't want to say this as if this is factual. But, you know, 2 years ago, I saw something that, hey, they're paying for sex changes.
Yeah, they stopped that. But
they stopped it. But why would we ever consider that?
Facts.
You know, and that's what, to me, it just shows that our government and those people that we can't relate to are making decisions in our lives that are going to affect our children.
So what is it about that sex change that, you know, what is it about that stirs the pot? You know what I mean? Like,
because I don't.
Those are but that's their fucking life. That's their choice.
Well,
Yeah, but
you
if
know,
it got the kind of money, it's like me saying, let me go get a tech job with money that made you struggle a whole month to get $2,500 and I go sit on my butt, get a check, and say, you know what, I want my boobs done today. You know, it's you're not putting in work to America. You're taking away from America. It's called the needs and the haves, the wants and the needs. You don't need this. You want it.
yeah,
Did you know
and,
that there's countries right now, that will pay you
Yep.
to come live there?
yep, and have
So
babies
what's the
and become a
difference
citizen.
between that and somebody that wants a sex change and they take advantage of
So I'll piggyback on Jay Bird's answer. You know, for one, it is our money, and then two, you know, what I look at is our children here, right? And they thinking that self love is empowerment. And if you are not being honest, like, hey, you are not a boy and you cannot be a girl. If we can't be honest with that, that's not teaching self love. That's like, oh, you don't love yourself, so let's change you who you are. No, that's just
Right.
being dishonest.
Right.
Let's figure out how we can love ourselves, how God made us, because that's how we fulfill the contracts and obligations.
I do feel the same way. Yeah, I do understand that. It's just for me personally, I just think everybody is, do their own,
I agree. Everybody does need to, kind of mind their own business, but when it comes to tax money and empowerment as an
The
individual,
boss man did show
I think it
up.
does.
He must have heard you on the radio.
No, Dom.
Dom's in the house, man. Shout out to Dom. I think he just got back from dabbing Granny's her husband funeral. So
Oh, snap.
yeah, he wasn't even going to come in. He probably honestly heard you on the show and was like, "Yeah, I got to drop in there,"
Word.
because I didn't tell him who was coming by. He normally asks me, "Who you got? Who you got?" But he didn't ask me because he's got some shit going on. But anyway, so we are we doing good on time? Yeah, we're right there. So if you got something,
Just something I would say, because I'm a solution-based thinker, and I feel like we did kind of tackle some real cultural influences and things that people fight about. I just dare to ask, if there is somebody that is on the opposing side or opposing views, I bet that you could relate with that person way more, 10 times more than you can relate to these assholes who are making decisions
Right.
that are affecting and having us fighting each other. So tap into who you are.
yeah, stop looking for somebody else to fulfill whatever it is you feel your purpose is. That's your job. And like you said, there's no way, absolutely no way that they can relate to the things that we go through from day to day, end of months. Some of us split up payments, so now we got the 15th of the month, and then before we know it, we're right back at the end of the month. And shout out to everybody that is doing it, because it is difficult getting it done, and you end up having not a dollar in your pocket after you've taken care of all your bills, made sure your family is fed, and all those worries are out of your head. You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Just keep going.
Keep
Like
going.
Jay Bird. Keep moving forward.
Keep
Yep.
it moving.
Wake,
Keep it moving.
wake up with intention. It's not happening to you, it's happening through you. Adjust your consciousness, take personal responsibility, be honest with yourself. That's where it all starts. Discipline, that's how it works. We are better. You could deprogram yourself, put on some affirmations at night while you're sleeping too. Even if you're not consciously aware of it, it's going into your subconscious, and you're naturally going to make better decisions once you fulfill your environment with higher upper vibrational things.
And if you're looking for somewhere to find something like that, Mondays right here at Syndicate Empire Radio is a great day to tune in. From 9 to 12, B-Rad's motivation. He gives those affirmations. He gives all that what you were talking about. So perfect way to tune in. You get those affirmations first thing in the morning, and then you get to hear my crazy ass.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Scottie.
And then after me, we got Ski's talk. He might help you out with the sports better too. I had a nice parlay I got to tell him about. And then Affliction Power Couple, High Keys Garden. You know. and then Munchies with Majesty. That Monday lineup is amazing, man. I mean, I don't like turning it into a competition, but if it was,
Duh.
hey Jarream, I appreciate you coming out, showing love, explaining some of this stuff because enlightenment is important. So if you get the chance to study it yourself, make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're checking out
High Fashion Healing, y'all, on Instagram and Facebook. High Fashion Healing. My name is Jarream.
Yeah, man.
Check me out, y'all. Check out some of my holiday pieces I got.
You're gonna be going to some sort of show, right?
Oh, Stevie Stone this
Oh,
Friday. This Friday, Affliction Power Couple. They're gonna be at this event. They're gonna be kind of not headlining, but one of the main performances, y'all. It's gonna be live, man. Come out here and
Of
kick
course,
it with us
anytime,
Friday at Vultures.
anytime. Vultures?
Oh, Stevie Stone.
right.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Come see my jewelry, y'all.
Yeah.
As always, we appreciate you. We're gonna put you back into some music. What do you got? What do you got?
Sleepless nights.
Let's skip that one. Never lacking.
Chill. Yeah. I had to come on here and chop it up with you again, man. I mean, you know,
Definitely, because a lot of times when we're going, that 40 minutes seems like it's like.
it did. That did not feel like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I like you coming
crazy.
in with that energy, bro.
Yeah, definitely,
You know that.
definitely.
Yeah, King.
Yeah, you hit on some things, you know what I'm saying, that especially the prison.
Oh yeah.
The private prison.
I
I think that people understood how important that is. Because I put up a post not too long ago and I was talking about the y'all think that rapper, you know, some of the
Love y'all, think off. Tuning
how our
in.
culture and society is structured. It absolutely has. Like we've affected cultures in other countries.
Yeah.
They took down one of the videos I was talking about.
Yeah.
They took down one of the videos I was talking about Dr. Fauci back in 2020 when I was talking about the problem with truth and authority. Dr. Fauci back in 2020 when I was talking about the problem with truth and authority is that we